Hi everyone, it's Miss Brenner. I'm here to talk to you about your monster research project. So this week we will be working on a project where you will have to complete research about a type of monster of your choice. I do have several types of monsters listed in the discussion, which is going to be in our Activity 1 and 2 folder. So if you look there, you'll be able to find information as far as the rubric and how this is going to be graded, as well as information about what should be in your slides, which we're going to talk about now. So, monster research slides. You need to include a title page for your monster, which tells you the name of your monster and gives some kind of depiction of them. You need to have a cause for your monsters, so where they come from, what makes them exist, those kinds of things. Depending on your monster, that can be very different. It could be anywhere from alien invasion to being bitten by some strange creature, which we're going to talk about in my example in a little bit. Their strengths and weaknesses, so what makes them super powerful and how can we possibly defeat them, or what scares them away. What type of monster is it? So you would need to reference back to our notes that you covered previously and tell me what kind of monster they are and how you know they fit that monster stereotype. You'll have to give me a description of your monster, so some details about what they are like, how I would recognize them, where they kind of like to exist, those kinds of things. A cure or form of eradication for the monster, so some monsters are like humans that are transformed and can be cured, and other monsters just need to be eradicated because we can't possibly exist with them. You're going to list off some interesting facts about them, so maybe if it is a morality monster, you're going to tell me what form of morality it applies to. But you're going to give me some interesting facts about your monster. Maybe some of their powers, maybe how they interact with other monsters, things like that. Interesting facts about them that are based off of research. So you'll also need to include a myth or a short story about that monster. So I'm going to show you that in my example and some other examples as well. But you'll have to have some background information as far as your monster as well in your project. With that being said, you must complete research for your project. I will be looking that the last slide in your project is an MLA format citation slide, showing that you have created MLA format citations, meaning that you are not plagiarizing and that you are aware that this information that you found is not yours and you are not entitled to it. Alrighty. With that being said, let's look at some examples. For my example, I chose to do werewolves. So werewolves is not one of the options for this project. I listed off a bunch, as I said prior in the discussion, of different monsters you can choose from, or you can send me an email asking if you could research one in specific, but it cannot be werewolves because I'm using it as my example. Alrighty, so my first slide I had werewolves and I had a nice image of what they look like. I give you a definition as far as what a werewolf is and what causes them in detail. I also list off their strengths and their weaknesses. I give you a little bit of an idea of how to cure them, even though it's really not possible, and more likely you will probably have to kill them, which is unfortunate. I have a nice slide of some werewolf facts. And then I have a link to a YouTube myth about werewolves, where they came from, why exactly people are so scared of them, how they came to exist in our understanding, those kinds of things. I explain what type of monster they are and how it connects to fears within the Deadly Sins monsters category. But, as you can see, I failed to have a citation slide. And since I don't have a citation slide, I would receive a 0 for this project. So it is essential that you have a citation slide. If we take a moment to look at the rubric for this project, we can see that this project is worth 35 points, and it is broken apart into several categories, such as that the content is engaging. That is worth 7 points. The student's response was engaging, enlightening, and reflected on the initial project questions with the intent to thoroughly discuss the content. Clarity in grammar is 10 points. Student's project was visually easy to understand and there were few and no grammar issues the project. I would lose points because I made a grammar mistake. Alright, content. The student covered all expectations and questions listed in the project directions. Watch video and look for examples. So you're doing that right now. Make sure that you follow all the directions that we have gone over in this video. And then digital construction/etiquette. The student was able to construct a well-documented project that is easy to access and then shared a link in the discussion. So the discussion, once again, is in the Activities 1 and 2 folder. Alrighty. And then as per usual, you are asked to comment on one other student's project, so you'll have to go look at it and give feedback about what you liked about their project. Maybe you find their monster super interesting, giving feedback as far as what they did well and what you think they could improve upon. It is 5 points for your discussion reflection, and it is broken apart as such that you are grammar accurate, that you use proper etiquette, that it is on topic, and that your comment is engaging. Alrighty, let's look at some examples now that we went over the rubric. This is one student's project. They did the Wendigo. So they went through, they found information about the Wendigo, how it comes to exist, what maybe we should fear about it as far as its strengths and weaknesses. They covered a cure and how to possibly kill it. They talk about different facts. They go on about what form of monster it is. They have a link to a story about it, but they don't have a citation page. So unfortunately, as lovely as their project is, they ended up with a 0. Well, really, they had to redo it. But still, ended up with a 0. And we don't want that. So make sure you have a citation page. Along with that, here's another lovely project. They did Skinwalkers, and they gave wonderful origin stories and background about their appearance and some images. Makes them look very eerie. About where they tend to exist in their abilities. They gave weaknesses and how to avoid them. About the skin itself. They gave a background story, but once again, no citations. Not good. We need citations. Let's look at one last one. So this student chose to talk about the Demogorgon. Now the Demogorgon is something that exists in Stranger Things, but it is not original to Stranger Things. It does have a background. So you can look into that. And then they talk a little bit about what causes the monster, its strengths, its weaknesses, its interesting facts, the mythology behind it, and we must have a citation page. So remember, always include a citation page about the information and where you got it from. Alrighty guys, so those are our examples, those are the directions for the project, and the rubric is posted on Schoology on the Activity 1 and 2 folder page. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. I would be happy to help you. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.